Hello. I will be showing you some of the components that you'll find inside CO2 Second Chance by Vital Lacerda. I picked up my copy at Essen last week, and I've been reading on BGG that some people have concerns over the quality of the components. So I'll be showing you the most general components that you'll find in the game, and talk about what I think about its quality. Also, I have with me a couple of tokens and cards from Vital's previous game, at least the previous release game, Lisboa. Although they're not from the same publisher, I will be comparing them, and you can make your own judgment about what you think. All right. So, starting with some of the exclusives, I have them here in front of me. So these plastic tokens, they were reached by Kickstarter stretch goals, um, and they're perfectly fine plastic tokens. Only this mask was the only one that this is the first player token. This mask was the only one that wasn't included as a free extra to the backers, because this stretch goal wasn't reached. They didn't get the value for it. I was hoping that they would offer it to all backers, but they didn't. So this mask was being sold at Essen for €2. And for some reason, the lady in the booth, the Geokix booth, felt she had to give it to me, so I got it for free. That was cool. Thank you very much. So yeah, so these are the plastic tokens that you will find if you have the exclusive version. If you back the game through Kickstarter, I mean. So pretty much nice plastic components. Nothing to say about them. They're fine, perfectly fine. You also get a couple of tiles and cards from the Kickstarter exclusive that I'll be showing. So barrel, kind of power plant and mask, calendar, etc. Other exclusive that Kickstarter backers are getting, I think this one was paid, wasn't free, are the metal coins. People were asking about if they're very heavy or not. I actually weighed them in a scale, and their weight is approximately 320 grams, right? So there are 4 types of coins. They're perfectly along any other metal coins you'll find in other games. So I think they're fine. I like the look of them. They're shiny, so they look very new. They're not washed or anything like that. I actually have here a €2 coin I can use for reference. So this is a €2 coin. And you have 4 values: 1, 2, 5, and 10. And here they are next to a €2 coin. So the 5 is exactly the same as the €2. And the 10 is a little bit bigger, and the 2 and the 1 are smaller. These actually look like quite a cent, 1 or 5 cents coin. They all have different backgrounds, different backs. They're quite nice, actually. I find them very nice. So I think each of them represents one of these 4 buildings. So this one would be this one, and this one would be for the forest, the 10 for the windmills, and the 5 looks like the power plants. So these are nice, and there's plenty of them. These are just a small sample. So another thing I find really cool about this game are these buildings that I suppose you build on top of this. They look really, really cool. So these are some of the wooden components. The rest, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. I'm not even gonna show them because the other wooden components are perfectly standard cubes or discs or hexagons, cylinders. Nothing. They're perfect. You'll find them in any other game. But these are really, really cool. So you can see that these wooden bits look really, really cool. And you have a lot of different shapes. So I suppose this is a forest. This looks like a plant of some kind. Solar panels. Then the wind. They look really, really cool. Nothing to say about this. So far, I don't see any difference between this and... So these are the scientists. Little wooden meeples. Not the standard meeple, but they look nice. These look like some water energy harvesting or something. So as far as the wooden components go, they're really cool. They're really well cut and the shapes are nice and suggestive. So nothing to say here. So the very last thing would be to compare the cardboard and cards. And one thing that I noticed about this cardboard, and I think I read some user mentioning it on BGG, is that they're very glossy. So they kind of reflect light a lot, and from some angles you may not be able to see what they have on them. It's not a huge problem, definitely, but just be aware. They look pretty standard thickness. They're definitely thicker than, for example, Castles of Burgundy. So pretty nice standard thickness. I actually have some Lisboa tokens here, and they're definitely not as thick as Lisboa's. Definitely not. So I'd say probably 3/4 of Lisboa's thickness. And Lisboa's are they don't reflect the light the same way these do. So I prefer these more than I do. I prefer Lisboa's more than CO2. But again, they're perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with them. Perfectly standard, sturdy thickness. Same with these. So, but as you can see, they're not as thick as Lisboa's. Actually, Lisboa's is probably the thickest components, the thickest tokens I've seen in a board game. So I think Lisboa's is above average, and CO2 is perfectly fine. Last, the cards. The cards, they are perfectly standard cards, line and finish. They look fine to me, very good quality. But when comparing them to Lisboa, these are definitely heavier. They're thicker and sturdier. So you can feel that when you try to bend them, this one bends way easier than Lisboa's. So quality, again, I'm not saying this is bad quality, not at all. They're perfectly fine, perfectly good, decent quality. But this is way better. You can feel in the touch when you're kind of using them. You can feel that Lisboa's are sturdier. I read today, and I was actually replying on that thread, that some of the cards seem to be printed upside down, and in fact they are. It's awkward, like, and a bit amateur, to be honest. But these UN cards, these United Nations cards. So if you look at the front, if you turn them on the back, they're upside down. So you will have to turn them this way. Again, it's not a huge deal. It doesn't impact gameplay in any way or form. But it's a bit strange to see something like this. Yeah, so. Bit weird, but again, it doesn't impact gameplay. And again, card quality is perfectly fine, perfectly standard, nothing wrong with it. Just Lisboas are better. Last, there was this drawbag that came with the game. Nice drawbag, standard. My hand fits nicely there, but my hands are not that big, so if you have a bigger hand you might have some problems getting your hands there, but again, not a big deal, not a big issue, perfectly fine quality. So overall, my opinion is that CO2 is perfectly good quality wise. It's good, medium to high quality, I'd say that no one, if you're looking at buying this game, getting this game, you won't have any issue with the quality of the components. They're perfectly fine. They look very good. A couple of side notes, like these cars being upside down. Yeah, they are. It's a bit strange, but not a big deal. And I find, like some other users mentioned, that these reflect the light a lot. They're very glossy, and I'd like them to be more kind of like this. But again, this is just a personal thing. A lot of people might find it fine. So that's it. I can go through the rule book. Nice rule book, big, 26 or 27 pages. Nothing to say about it. There are some player aids that come with the game in thick paper. The game board is perfectly standard, thick quality, so no issues there. And the board is actually gorgeous when assembled. So yeah, overall, my opinion is that the game looks amazing. The quality is very good, medium to high quality. I don't think anyone will find any issues with the quality of the game, and that's it. Alright, I hope this video helped, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.